I'm Garrison Wade.
My name is Sean Moore.
On April 22nd, 2020, the Simulation Football League debuted their minor league in an effort to further expand their community.
Perry, the tight end, is straight, ready for a first down, back to pass again, another sidearm throw, and again, first attempt for 27. A little juke there by O'Shaughnessy.
Hundreds of players lined up to establish themselves as potential prospects, with the hopes of being drafted by a professional SFL team. In order to be drafted, these rookies will face many challenges in the road ahead. How they handle each situation on and off the field will greatly determine what interest they receive from general managers and team owners. At the end of the season, there will only be one champion. But there are many opportunities for players to shine. For the minor league second season, we decided to share a sneak peek into the journey of two players and their pursuit of being drafted. This is their path to the draft.
I'm from Bossier City, and that's where my dad is. And I just came to Louisiana Tech in Ruston, Louisiana. It's a small town in the middle northern part of Louisiana, and that's where I've been for 2 years. I'm studying mechanical engineering here.
I'm from the state of Tennessee, raised in a small town in the western part of the state. I'm 51 years old, and I've been living here in Nashville since the late 80s.
I played football pretty much all my life. I was a slot receiver, specifically I was called the Y. I did lots of blocking, lots of slant routes, and some cuts and things like that. Made some catches, caught a couple touchdowns. It was a fun time.
I grew up playing baseball, and my senior year in high school, we went to the high school state championships, and we didn't win. We got second place, but just the excitement of just playing at a semi-pro baseball stadium was exciting and everything, and so we had a bunch of fun. I found out about the SFL and this spring around the minor leagues first inaugural season. I had just purchased a new 75-inch TV, and I was scrolling through the channels and seeing a lot of new channels, and I ran across a channel called For the Fans, and I saw the arcade game, and first thing I said, what is this? I am a gamer, and what brought my attention is the fact that the game was playing itself. And I've always been a type gamer that I would do a simulation season, and I would play the coach and just see how my plays worked. That got my attention. I saw the website that invited you to see what was going on. So when I went on and checked that out, I joined the Discord, and just sit there and just watch the games and everything, and just waited on my opportunity. Found out that I had to start in the minor leagues, and so I watched the pro season that just finished up, and was just excited about joining.
Right when quarantine started, my dad was flipping through the channels and noticed that there was these virtual football games going on, and we were like, we don't have a real football. Let's just watch this in the meantime. At least it's something, right? So anyway, we were watching it. And then he eventually was like, I wonder if I could get a player in there. So he started contacting some people, and made it happen. And after that, he liked it. So he said, like, would you want in to me? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll give it a shot. It wasn't exactly like playing, I'm suiting up to play in an actual high school game, but still, like, it's a different feeling. It's something cool where you get to, see yourself on TV per se. I think in my case it was actually only streamed on YouTube, but it was still cool to see that. And I wasn't necessarily nervous. It was more just excited for the outcome and being able to see my name and having your name called out. I just thought that was pretty cool.
With opening week underway, the stage is set for these rookies to perform. The Ottawa Cavalry traveled to Annapolis to face their rival team. After losing last season's quarterfinal matchup, Annapolis was seeking their revenge. The Navigators started off with a pair of unanswered touchdowns, leading 14-0. Ottawa found a way to answer back before the half, but as the game continued, the defense and passing game of the Navigators remained dominant, which resulted in the Cavalry losing their first game 27-14. Sean Moore's performance consisted of 9 tackles, 5 assists, and 2 pass deflections. However, those efforts alone were not enough for his team's victory.
I think the most exciting time was that first game. I led the game in tackles, and just hearing my name, I don't know, that kind of just put me in the game, and I became a part of my character at that moment, and every time I would hear my name, my wife would look at me and laugh because she's like, "You really into this?" And I said, "Yes," And but that was the most memorable time, and that and just starting to bond with my teammates.
Meanwhile, the Madison Lynx took on the Albuquerque Adams in a primetime matchup. As champions from season 1, the Lynx were looking to maintain their dominance. However, the Adams started off the first half with 20 unanswered points. PJ Slaughter dominated through the air, throwing 313 yards and 3 touchdowns, as Albuquerque's defense was relentless, resulting in a Madison loss 27-10. Wide receiver Maximus Wade was not targeted all game, and the Madison Lynx would be challenged to get him more involved in the offense for games to come. With both rookies having lost in their debut, they would have to learn early on how to overcome adversity.
It was a good game, I think. With unfortunately not the outcome that we wanted, but I believe that there were some flashes there with connections to the receivers and it definitely was still, regardless of the outcome, still made me hopeful for the weeks to come. Never happy to lose, but sometimes a loss can lead to many victories. So that's kind of what I was hoping for there.
Moving ahead to week 4, Cavalry was off to a 2-1 start. Sean Moore's fired up for one of his toughest matchups yet. They'll take on the undefeated Fuel, which averages 34 points a game. Early in the first quarter, Christian Brown threw a missile to Riley Quintero, putting Birmingham up early 7-0. Ottawa drove down the field and answered back with a touchdown by Roosevelt, but by the half, it was Birmingham up 17-10. The second half was a defensive battle, which forced the game into overtime. But in the end, the Fuel's passing attack was just too much for the Cavalry to handle, as tight end Stephen Walker scored on a 90-yard touchdown play, resulting in a Birmingham win 26-20. Sean Moore had a notable performance consisting of 6 tackles and 1 assist. His efforts in the second half helped disrupt the Fuel's high-powered offense. However, the road for the Cavalry has become more challenging with the loss. With only 4 games left in the season, their opportunities will remain limited. Now, holding a 2-2 record, Ottawa will go on to play Tacoma in search of keeping their playoff hopes alive.
That game, I felt like we were the better team, of course. It was a battle. I mean, we were going back and forth. And of course, the one play that I'll never forget was tight end route, slot route, wide open, alone on the island. He took it, I think, 70 yards, maybe 50 to 70 yards. And of course, that's a position that's usually covered by a linebacker. And I kind of felt like I let the team down by not being where I needed to be. And we lost that game at the last play of the game. And that was a hard one there. That was a hard one.
But some of the hardest challenges are yet to come. Fans piled in to see Madison battle against the undefeated Birmingham team. Coming off a fresh bye week, Madison remained confident in their game plan. Could Madison overcome the dominance of the Fuel? Or would the Fuel be a force that continued to burn bright? It all started with the Fuel's defense holding their opponent to a field goal. But then, quarterback Eric Price found McClinney in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. This put the Lynx burly 10-0. Continuing their momentum, Bullet Biletsky ran up the middle for his first score of the game. Madison's defense held strong, and by the half, they led the game 20-0. In desperate need to turn things around, Birmingham was forced to make adjustments. At the start of the third quarter, the Fuel scored on a 36-yard field goal. Birmingham's defense held strong for the remainder of the quarter. But then, signs started to indicate Birmingham was running out of fuel. With 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Maximus Wade hauled in a pass over the middle, earning his first career touchdown. Madison closed the game with a 42-yard field goal, and their lead was just too large for Birmingham to overcome. This resulted in Birmingham's first loss and put an end to their winning streak. The final score was in favor of the Lynx, 30-10. Maximus Blue had 4 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. For the rookie, this would be his best performance yet.
Yeah, I knew that first touchdown catch against Birmingham was going to be the first of many. It was an exciting game, and I was glad to top it off in the fourth quarter with my first touchdown catch, a contested one at that.
It's the final week of the season. Ottawa and Memphis will fight for a playoff spot. Early in the game, both defenses remained dominant, but as the half came near, the elusiveness of Scar Patterson put the Cavalry up 7-0. By the half, Memphis quickly fired back with a Jason France touchdown. The tempo of the game slowed, which resulted in field goals for both sides. This left the game tied at 10. At the start of the fourth quarter, running back J.P. Wells worked his way into Ottawa's secondary, scoring a 51-yard touchdown. This allowed the River Runners to take a narrow lead, 17-10. Further separation was created with a Nate Collier field goal. This would complicate things for Cavalry, putting them in a must-score situation. Ottawa managed to close the gap, making it a one-possession game. But with just over a minute to go, their time seemed to run short. The Cavalry was defeated 20-13, and their season would come to an abrupt end. In that game, Sean Moore had 4 tackles and 1 assist. His total season performance consisted of 40 tackles, 17 assists, 2 tackles for a loss, and 9 passes deflected. For Sean, this would possibly be his last game in Ottawa, and his destiny would be decided on draft day.
Week 9 against the Memphis Showboats. The winner of that game makes the playoffs. I think that game I had like 4 tackles. It wasn't a great game. Our offense couldn't get going. We had a couple picks that really hurt. But I left feeling that we were still the better team than Memphis. But after that game, I just focused on the next move, and that was making it to the pros, and just focused on pitching myself and making myself appealing to some of these teams.
The city of Madison has had many historic moments, and winning a minor league championship was one of them. But in Week 9, the Lynx are now fighting to make the playoffs. Kicker Henry Griffin started the game with a 31-yard field goal, putting Salt Lake City on top. Tommy Utah threw a touchdown and extended the lead by 10. But the Lynx continued to fight as Charlie Biletsky shed a few tackles and allowed Madison to narrow the gap. Now the Lynx only trail by 3 points. Later on in the second quarter, running back Brooke Bissell put the Rustlers up by 10. From that point on, Tommy Utah and Kingston Ellington would combine for a pair of touchdowns. A strike to the back of the end zone for the first, followed by a great catch on the sideline. This created a massive lead for Salt Lake City with just 1 quarter to go. And although Madison was able to score another touchdown, the attack from Salt Lake City's offense remained consistent. Salt Lake City's lead was just too great for Madison to come back from. And even though Eric Price threw another late touchdown, it appears the season for the Lynx will come to an end. The Rustlers controlled the clock and set the tone of the game. Salt Lake City would go on to win the game, 34-21. In that game, Maximus Blue had 3 receptions and 22 yards. His impact on the final game was minimal, as the Lynx struggled to pass. Blue's total performance for the season consisted of 45 receptions, 528 yards, and a touchdown. Now that the season has come to an end, Maximus Blue will change his focus on the draft. And although the road has seemed to come to an end for both rookies, the reality is their legacy has just begun.
As always, with any last game of the season, it's disappointing to lose and end it right there. But I mean, at the same time, hopeful for the future and going into a draft. I thought it was a pretty good season. So maybe my teammates and me as well were able to get enough, maybe get noticed by some of the bigger teams, so we could be called up to the next level.
SFL was cracking. My name is Sean Moore. I played with the Ottawa Cavalry this past season, aka Big Dog 4-4. Today's the day, draft day. I've been excited all week anticipating this day. I couldn't be more proud of the group of rookies that I'm entering into the draft with. We putting the vets on notice. We come to shake up the league, to show you what we made of. We feel like it's a new era in the SFL. I have no idea who may pick me, but one thing I will say is there's 2 things that you would get. That's leadership and loyalty. Can't wait to get in that locker room. So I want to go ahead and say now, I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to go to war with you. Peace.
With the 32nd pick in the SFL Season 16 rookie draft, the Queen City Corsairs select Sean Moore, linebacker. Arizona is on the clock with the 33rd pick.
We'll shoot it on down to Coach real quick for instant reaction as we get Sean Moore live look in there. So you got the phone call looking very festive with his Santa hat. I love it. Love the high fives.
I love Sean Moore. I interviewed him for a project we were doing for Epic Esports, and I was just like, I really want this guy to get drafted. This is fantastic. God bless you, Sean. Really happy it happened, bro.
Overall, my minor league experience was great. Had a great group of guys as teammates. The locker room was great, positive, no matter what the outcome was. And a few of those guys, we still good friends till this day. And it was exciting going into the draft and seeing which one of them went to what team and everything, just cheering them on and them cheering me on as well. Since then, I was very grateful to Queen City for drafting me. They only had 2 picks, and they chose me as one of those. So I took that to heart. And it was a great experience. I want to get a shout out to Albert, my coach there. He does a great job of getting me prepared each week with my progressions, showing me how to build my player. And I'm seeing the results on the field. So I really want to thank Albert for being the coach and the friend here at Queen City. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and seeing if we can bring another title to Queen City. So I appreciate you guys, and let's go out and win the championship. Peace.
I was always somebody that was had like a good player on the field, but I was never really like super active or anything. So I wasn't expecting like first round or anything. I'm not expecting first round or anything, but like something like second or third round, definitely plausible. I was in contact very slimly with Lone Star, and there's another one. I want to say it was it St. Louis, I think, where was reaching out to me a little bit. So I was in contact with a few people said that they were maybe willing to draft, um, but yeah, there was no guarantees. I think it turned out okay though because in the real life, things getting busy. So I just wish to be in an engineering major. So it's I think it's definitely a thing that maybe teams saw that maybe I couldn't be as attentive, and I completely get that. So I wasn't too terribly hurt by it, but and I was ready, maybe do something in the minors again. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much just my thoughts on that.